Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And on day one of the United Rugby Championship, the second, second or third, there's two games at the same time tomorrow night after the Zebra versus Lions game. And the game we're talking about today is Ulster taking on Glasgow Warriors in Belfast. Kickoff is at 8:30 South African Standard Time, or 7:30 if you are in the UK. Now, it's between two sides. Obviously, Ulster is the side for South Africans that will remember is when Marcel Coetzee was playing, and now where Dwayne Vermeulen will be moving. Glasgow Warriors, I think, could become my second favourite side, just because there's quite a few players who will eventually play for them when they return that I really enjoy watching. But some very good players on display tomorrow, despite missing a lot of internationals, which we'll sort of see as the competition kind of moves into the latter stages. But still quite a few players that are worth watching. A lot of international experience on display, and it should be a really nice sort of way to sort of see, a bit of Irish rugby and a bit of Scottish rugby for the South African fans that don't watch these two teams very often. Obviously for Glasgow Warriors, missing a lot of their Scottish Lions players. For Ulster, missing quite a few players as well. Probably not as many as Glasgow, but still definitely not their strongest side. Before we look at the two sides themselves, please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And also go and check out our Forever Sports store at shop.foreversports.net. We will be live for this game. I'll be taking you through it. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to doing more of these sort of watch-alongs. The teams that we don't know much about, the teams that we kind of watch pretty ad hoc as opposed to week in, week out like we do our South African side. So very, very excited for this game. And we're going to start with the home side, which is, of course, Ulster. And in terms of players missing, players that we sort of would have liked to have seen, Ian Henderson's probably the big one that's not available for tomorrow. Kieran Treadwell, who we heard from last week during the URC launch, is not available for tomorrow either. So those are two big names which aren't available. But in terms of the side itself, still some very, very good players, a lot of international experience stacked across the squad. If we're starting in the front row, Andrew Warwick, 29 years old, from Ireland. He's got no international caps, but he's next to a South African for people who want to sort of keep an eye out for South African players overseas. In Brad Roberts, the 25-year-old, was born in Durban. And then Marty Moore, who's got 10 international caps for Ireland, starts at tight head. He was at Leinster, and he's also got quite a few caps for Wasp when he was in the Premiership, so it's a very good and experienced tight head prop to look out for. And then the two locks bring a lot of bulk in it. You've got Alan O'Connor, who's at 1.96 and 114 kg. Sam Carter, 2 meters tall, captain the side. The Australian has got 16 caps for his side. He's also got 122 caps for the Brumbies. And then if you're looking at the loose trio, it's a lot of experience in the loose trio. You've got Greg Jones, Sean Riley, who's 31 years old, and then Nick Timoney, who's 25 years old. Not too much international experience, but something like Nick Timoney's got experience with the National 7 side. But all over 100 kgs, all pretty tall as well. Greg Jones, 1.96, quite a bulky loose trio. And then the exciting players to watch are the halfback combination, who are both Irish capped. John Cooney will partner Billy Burns, who we sort of saw a little bit during the Six Nations, and somebody who we probably would like to sort of add to his Ireland national career. He's a very good player, Billy Burns. When he plays well, he can turn a game on its head. Very exciting player, and definitely a good player to watch out for tomorrow. He's got over 100 caps for Gloucester in the past. Played a lot of Premiership rugby as well. The most experienced sort of player, or the sort of the big name for tomorrow, is Jacob Stockdale, the Irish wing, who's got 33 caps for Ireland. For people who watched a bit of Ireland, he famously scored that try that won the match when they played against the All Blacks back in 2018. 24 years old and 33 caps, so he's very experienced for the age he is. 1.91, 102 kgs. He packs a punch, does Jacob Stockdale. And then in the midfield, you've got Stuart McCloskey and James Hume. Four Irish caps for McCloskey, none yet for Hume, but a very exciting young player. And on the other wing, we've got Robert Balakoon, who's 23 years old, 1.93 meters tall and 93 kg. So it's quite a two pretty big wings there. He's got Sarah's experience as well. And then another youngster at fullback is Michael Lowry, 22 years old as well, played former Ireland under 20. Off the bench, Rob Herring's got obviously quite a few caps, 31 years old, brings a wealth of experience off the bench. He was born in South Africa. He actually represented Western Province for a bit before going overseas. And then you've got Eric O'Sullivan and Tom O'Toole, who will cover the rest of the bench. Tom O'Toole, 22-year-old who grew up in Australia and has played for the Reds before. And then you've got the likes of Michael Kearney, Matty Ree, who cover the rest of the scrum, Nathan Dirk and Michael Laurie at 22. And then the final player on the bench is Will Addison, the 29-year-old who's got 5 caps for Ireland. It's not too many sort of Irish international experience off the bench, apart from the likes of Herring. But, you know, a lot of youngsters, 19-year-old Nathan Dirk is a very exciting player to watch out for. And for Glasgow, missing quite a few players, and we'll talk about them now. It's still a pretty decent side with some international experience there. But the big players that are missing for Glasgow, they've got a lot of players missing. No Matt Ferguson, no Xander Ferguson, no Thomas Gordon, no Ollie Cable, no Ali Price, no George Turner, as well as players who are currently on international duty. Sebastian Cancelera, the Argentine fly half, which they've signed, he's obviously playing in the Rugby Championship at the moment, as is Domingo Miotti. Enrique Piriato also not available. So quite a lot of players missing for Glasgow, but still a very, very experienced side, especially if you're looking at sort of the tight five. The pack itself, really, you know, the two locks and the loose trios, a lot of experience in there to sort of guide some of the younger players. In the front row, we've got Brad Thai, who will be making his debut for Glasgow Warriors. There are 5 debutants in the side tomorrow. He's next to Johnny Matthews and Simon Bergen, who boasts 31 international caps, has moved from Edinburgh for this season. So 2 new faces in the front row for Glasgow. In the second row, Scott Cummings, 24 years old, has got 18 caps for Scotland. He also came through the ranks, so he's been quite a sort of very systematic player. He's come through all the different systems and gone on to play 18 times for his national side. And he's next to Richie Gray, who's got 66 caps for Scotland. Obviously also has a British and Irish Lions cap. So plenty of experience there, and probably be one of the sort of the cornerstones of the side tomorrow night. The loose trio, Ryan Wilson will captain the side, 32 years old, 50 caps for Scotland for the England-born flanker, and he's got Jack Dempsey next to him. He's got 14 caps for Australia. He's also got 44 Waratahs caps, plenty of experience playing in the Southern Hemisphere, now applying his trade overseas. And those two will be very useful in terms of the experience that they can then pass on to the young Rory Dodge, who is 21 years old and has just moved from Edinburgh, will be making his first start tomorrow. The halfback combination for Glasgow is George Horn and Duncan Ware. Duncan Ware got quite a few caps for Scotland as well. And George Horn very much in the 7th circuit where he sort of made his international career. So it should be quite an exciting pair there. Then on the wings, we've got Rufus McLean and Carl Steyn. Carl Steyn is South African, as the name does suggest. He moved from the Greek was about 2 years ago, I think, making the move in 2019. And then we've got in the centre Sam Johnson, who's got 15 caps for Australia, despite being Australian born, and then Sione Tupelutu. So it is a little bit of an Australian flair in the centre. It's quite an international backline for Glasgow. Off the bench, and then you've got Cole Forbes, who's from New Zealand, at fullback. So it really has got quite a nice international flavour, does the Glasgow Warriors backline. Then off the bench, Fraser Brown boasts over 50 caps for Scotland. That's the perfect type of player you want coming off the bench. He's got over 100 caps for Glasgow as well. So a wealth of experience there, as does James Batty, the loose head, who's come back from Bath. He was at Glasgow Warriors previously. He now returns. He's got 15 caps for Scotland. And Murray McCallum is also a Scottish cap. So it's very like the perfect sort of front row experience you want to be able to bring on. 32 years old, 28, 25. So if things are a bit shaky, you can bring on some very experienced international quality players off the bench. Lewis Bean will cover the second row. He's got 129 kgs and over 2 meters tall, so brings a lot of bulk into that side. And then the hugely experienced Rob Harley's got over 250 caps for Glasgow Warriors, as well as 21 international caps. The backline replacements are very, very young. You've got Jamie Dobie at 20 years old, Ross Thompson, 22, and Ollie Smith, 21. Scottish and under 20s there in the 3 of them, but very sort of new to this level, and exciting to sort of be able to sort of give them a chance and see what they can do. So it's not the strongest side either of them can put out, but some very exciting players, and nice to see some youngsters. And as I said, as a South African coming into this competition, these are the sort of players I'm looking forward to watch. You know, are some of the younger players going to be the next sort of Stuart Hoggs and Finn Russells? Are we going to see the next generation of what I think is a very interesting Scottish generation at the moment? They play some very nice rugby at international level. Gregor Townsend's got them working really well. So I'm excited to see what both these sides can do. Let me know what your score predictions are. We will see you live for this game tomorrow, so please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. My name is Stephen. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll chat to you soon.